for us to pay special attention to it is that although many Chinese Confucian believers in Confucius don't pay much importance to this symbolism, because they don't even believe in the founder of this symbolism. They believe that he was just a fake man and he just, do hocus pocus and nothing more. So he himself was in doubt about it, why this and whether it is important or not. So before I tell you his dream, he wants to tell us as to who he was. His name was Fu Shi. And according to the old Chinese Muslim scholars, he was one of the sons of Noah who was saved, not the one who was drowned, but the one who was saved and later on who became the forefather of many of new generations. So old Chinese believe that one of the Noah's sons came to China and then he propounded these teachings. And his teaching itself, that symbolism, was based on a dream. He saw in a dream that a seahorse walked out of the sea, and on the back of the seahorse was something inscribed. So when this prophet, Fu Shi, read it, not only could he read it, but he remembered everything. And this was exactly the symbolism which he found inscribed on the back of the seahorse. So,
उन खुदों की रोशनी में उन्होंने तैयार किया।
हाँ, अच्छा। No, in the light of what he read there, he understood it in the light. It's not exactly the symbol, balki what he did was he received the message written on the horseback, understood it, and in the light of that, he prepared this whole symbolism which conveyed many truths according to him and very deep truths. If somebody would understand it, he would be enriched by that much. So he was, because many Confucianists don't pay much importance to this symbolism and wave him off as an impostor or something. So he himself was doubt, so he prayed whether there was a truth or not, and whether such a man was a prophet or not. And then he was told by Allah in a dream that Fu Shi is among those whom we made prophets. He is in the list of our prophets. So because now he, of course, naturally, he was praying for it, so he received an answer, so he pays importance to it. But that is not all. I have seen his dreams to come true sometimes so strangely that no human factor would be held responsible for that exact fulfillment of the dream. So he is one of those whom Allah has specially gifted with that quality that you see a clear dream in symbols too. You don't know sometimes what it stands for, sometimes it puzzles you. You don't receive the message at all. That he himself. And when he tells that dream to others, they know it, and then it comes to come to pass exactly as he is saying. So it is not only important for him, but I think he is quite right. Also once before, it was a dream which led him to the edition of the question of Khatm Nabuwat. Wasn't it?
Yes.
He was writing a book as I had told him, on Imam Mahdi, the appearance of Imam Mahdi, because that was one title which was very well known to the Chinese people, and they were expecting for the Imam Mahdi to appear, but Masih Maud was rather not a very well familiar term to them. They were not expecting a Messiah as much as a Mahdi. So he gave that book the title Imam Mahdi, and in that he decided not to include the question of Khatm Nabuwat, because he thought it was not relevant here, but while it was relevant anyway, when he had almost, or perhaps had actually finished the book, then he saw a dream giving him a message that without this Khatm Nubuwwat, this book would be meaningless. It will not be complete. Now, interestingly, when he saw this dream, shortly after that, a demand came from Chinese that we want a book on this subject, you know. Without it, there will be no correct introduction of Ahmadiyyat without the Chinese knowing our point of view. And also when he came to England, when he spoke with some Chinese Muslims, they also demanded this, didn't they?
Yes.
You told me once.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Does it, when he told he didn't, he said, does it contain this chapter? You know, anything on this?
No, like this. You see, because
उर्दू में
book
बता
is
दो।
too long,
क्या?
too long, किताब बहुत लंबी हो गई है। वफाद मसीह भी लिखना नहीं चाहता था। सर्व सदाकत मसीह लिखना चाहता था।
हाँ वही।
तो अभी मजबूर हो गया, वफाद मसीह भी इजाफा गया।
अच्छा।
अब लिखना नहीं चाहिए तो ताकि लंबा ना हो। तो इस दौरान में ख्वाब देखा कि 3 उलमा चाइना से आए।
अच्छा।
एक आलिम आपको उनको खत्म नबुव्वत समझा रहे थे। तो मैंने इसका मतलब मुझे लिखना चाहिए।
Exactly.
तो यहाँ अगर
three Chinese scholars, one of them was making an attempt for others to understand the true meaning of Khatm al-Nubuwwat. That is what he saw in dream, while he had not included this chapter. So he understood that it is a message from God that without this the book would not be complete. When he did, and then he came here, then he realized the importance by after discussing it with Chinese people.
तो वो नबुव्वत के मतलब पूछती थी।
हाँ, exactly.
तो मैंने कहा ये दिखा है।
You know, when he opened this question of Ahmadiyyat, they straight away asked. The most interesting question to them was this Khatm al-Nubuwwat. So this is why I say his dreams are truly from Allah, and particularly some dreams which I have known before. They came to pass exactly as as he saw. So this is true then. Fushi was a prophet of God. according to your
मैंने ये हवाला लिख दिया था। ये हवाला लिख दिया था कि फुशी ऐसे ना आदमी नहीं थे।
अच्छा।
उसके बाद ये ख्वाब दिखा था। ये निकाल दिया वो हवाला।
He says he had committed the mistake of including one excerpt from some anti-Fushi man, that he was not a good man. He was wrong man, that sort of thing. So he had included that excerpt in his book. And then he saw this dream that he was a prophet of God. What were you doing,
वो कहते हैं कि जाली है, कोई आदमी ऐसा ही नहीं है। वो कहते हैं कि जिस तरह अंबिया इंकार करते हैं, कहते हैं ये कोई ऐसा शख्स है नहीं।
ठीक है।
नबी का सवाल नहीं।
But I remember those symbols which you brought to me, and when you remember in Waqf Jadid, when we jointly tried to break this code, and I found this man, whoever it was definitely guided by God. Because there was such deep truths in this, and such deep richness in the philosophy, that it was impossible for a man of any age to invent such things. He must have been guided by God, and this is what I told him there too. That after trying to break this code, at least of one thing I am convinced, that this man is a pious man. He is a holy man, and it is not only his own efforts, but he has been guided. So Alhamdulillah, later on this was proved to be, in a manner that we believe, it was proved to be right.
ये इतना अहम है, इतना मुश्किल है। खुंफूशियस ने खुद कहा था, उन्हें मुझे 15 साल और दे दो ताकि मैं अच्छी तरह समझ सकूं।
Even Confucius had confessed that this teaching is so difficult that God should give me 15 years of more life to finally understand the message. But later on I read, I was reading a book on acupuncture, and I was surprised to learn that acupuncture's philosophy was based on this.
Yes. Not only this, बल्कि तमाम
this is fantastic, because the acupuncture has got established now as a fact of life now in the world. The scientists can't poo-poo it as something,